why not make a baklava instead of cookies this holiday? I'm very excited to share an easy baklava, as simple to make your favorite cookies. Hello everyone, welcome back to Turkish Food and Travel. I know baklava might sound intimidating, but trust me, with the rolling pin we're gonna use a very short method to make. Let's begin. For the dough I have 1 egg, 1/4 of a cup each milk and vegetable oil, 1/3 of a cup water, 1 teaspoon grape vinegar, 30 grams butter, 150 grams coarsely ground walnuts, a teaspoon baking powder, about 2.5 cups of flour, and to roll out 1.5 cups to 2 cups corn or wheat starch. Of course, we are going to make simple syrup. We'll melt about 150 grams of butter for the layers. First, let's make the dough. I have milk, oil and water, adding the egg. Let's give this a mix first. Going to add 2 cups of flour, teaspoonful of baking powder and teaspoon of vinegar. I'm gonna mix until it becomes a soft dough, adding more flour if needed, close to 3 cups of flour. I have a nice smooth dough that is not sticking but soft. Going to rest only for about 10 minutes and we're gonna begin to shape our dough. Two cups plus 1/4 of a cup sugar. And 1 plus 2/3 of a cup water, close to 400 milliliter. And small lemon wedges. Going to boil everything, stir until sugar dissolves, and then continue to boil on medium for about 10 minutes. We will check. We need it to be thickened a little bit. I'm gonna show you how to test. Also melt the butter, add 1/4 cup vegetable oil and collect the white foamy part to prevent them burn on top of our baklava. My sugar dissolved. I'm gonna turn off the heat and turn it on back after I put my baklava to the oven. Okay, my dough has rested. By the way, look at my tea towel, kitchen towel. It has a calendar from 1972. Okay, I'm gonna cut my dough into 2. Make a ball. And going to roll out the dough using starch. I rolled out into squares as much as I can. Now gonna sprinkle enough starch to create a layer. And then fold like this. After folding from the sides, again sprinkle good amount of wheat or cornstarch and then fold from the top and bottom and continue to make the starch layers between each folding. Finally, fold like an envelope and our first dough is ready. Now back to the first dough. I'm gently pressing to secure the dough layers. Flip it over and then continue to roll out gently from center to the sides to make bigger than your pan. The pan I'm using is a special baklava pan in 25 to 35 centimeter. You can use similar sizes trays you have, and I just cut it, as you can see, to fit to my pan. And the rest you can just place it on top. As you can see, just wanted to show you that you can even separate the layers. It is not necessary, but if you do as much as you can, you create air between the layers and it becomes more crunchy even inside the baklava. And here's the second batch. At the top layer, after sprinkling some of the walnuts, first of course I place the uneven pieces. Look how thin they are when you separate them. Sprinkle rest of the walnuts, and from my even rectangular I had some of the folding parts, so I wanted to first place them. And finally to the top, the even rectangular pieces. This is my friend's special baklava knife. It has a different end, so you can perfectly cut the edges. Very sharp to make sharp cuts. It also helps to get nice layers. I cut it into even squares, but I forgot to cut the squares into triangles and poured my warm butter and oil mixture all over my baklava. Okay, kesmeyi unuttum. Üçgen. Ben yapayım mı? I forgot to cut the final part to make triangles. I'm gonna do it now. Wish me luck. My hesitation was to press the layers that has been soaked with the butter. The oven is preheated to 190 Celsius degree. I'm gonna bake about 10 to 15 minutes and then lower the heat to 160. Continue to bake for another 30-40 minutes until we have nice golden color. Inside layers are fully baked and risen. I turned the heat back on and continue to cook my syrup until the last drops oozing a little bit, as you can see. After this point, keep your syrup warm at the lowest setting to have ready to pour. Okay, it's time to pour the syrup. I increased the heat to boil back quickly and then pour it to my hot baklava. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm gonna wait for about 20 minutes to soak it, just to show you, otherwise wait for at least an hour and then taste. I see beautiful layers. Look at all these layers. It is still warm, crunchy, soaked all the syrup right away. As I told you, it's very easy. We just used 2 bowls to make it and a rolling pin. Please share in the comments if you try. Also check the description for the details. This was the updated version, the second episode of the series. The first recipes I shared on the channel 10 years ago, updated for you. Thanks for watching and hopefully see you next time. Afiyet olsun. Don't forget to check the links to see the recipe I shared 10 years ago and other related videos. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet.